Thanks, Coach. Well, both teams were hoping the rain would vacate the Green Bay area by kick, but alas, it's still falling pretty steadily in and around Lambeau Field. No team means more to a city than the Packers to Green Bay, and this was the scene a few moments ago as the green and gold made their way out of the historic tunnel. They're ready to go as they get set to match up with the Minnesota Vikings. Two teams here, each off to 1-0 starts as this one is underway on EA Sports. And that'll carry over the back line of the end zone for a touchback.
Let's go!
Cousins now to throw on first down. He's got it complete to Stephon Diggs. And he takes us beyond the 35 before going out of bounds. 12 yards there, first down Vikings. Line of scrimmage, the 37 on first and 10. From the shotgun, it's Cousins. Open here, Adam Thielen. They get 14 there. First down, Vikings. Pretty good start right off the bat there with throws 1 and 2.
He's not locking in on just one target early, is he? Spreading it around a little bit as this game gets started.
Back-to-back first downs. Back-to-back good plays have him on the move on first down. Here's Dalvin Cook, third-year back from Florida State. Trying to run inside, but nothing there. Preston Smith there on the stop.
All right, quick observation, Brandon, because early on in this game, I'm seeing linebackers playing up their noses close to the line of scrimmage.
And my guess is the wheels are turning on that other sideline. As a play caller, you're filing that away right now, aren't you?
Yeah, you're trying to find that opportunity later on when you can play action them or stick something to them between the second and the third level.
Looking to throw on second down. Cousins. That's complete to the receiver, Thielen. That catch good for 5. It's third down. And he's already got 2 catches on the opening drive. They know he's going to be a handful.
And sometimes you game plan for that offensively. You want to make sure that guy touches the ball, and sometimes it just happens naturally. And then you change your game plan. When he has the hot hand, you keep going back to him because he's running routes with confidence as the game goes on.
Cousins going to come up on a first and 10, and he's 4 for 4 now, throwing the ball to start the drive. From the gun, here's Cousins. And the Packers give him nowhere to go, and they bring him down. Preston Smith comes in for the sack.
2 sacks last week, another one right here. He's been unblockable lately, and I think that goes all the way back to not just his offseason, but the film study he's been doing during the week, because I think he's found matchups that he likes, and he's capitalizing.
A few times he's even defeated double teams. He doesn't care at this point. So second and long, and got to be careful not to fall out of field goal range.
Good route there. Hey, Haywood.
Now Cousins. And this one hauled in by Rudolph. A gain there of 21 yards.
Okay, I'm not so great at math, but I just looked over at our statistician, Marvin, and he signaled to me 5 for 5 to get things started here on this opening drive. Where I come from, that's pretty good.
That is pretty good. Now, what do you do defensively to adjust?
Well, this is where you've got to make a decision as a defensive coordinator. Do you really get after the quarterback, or maybe you tighten down on the receivers, bump them off of their routes, chip away at their timing so things aren't as precise as they...
Looking for Diggs, and it's intercepted. Picked off inside the 10. And a big turnover there as his guys will get the football back. They are in a zone. Remember, folks, 4 interceptions for this defense a week ago. First drive, make it number 5.
And the focal point will be the people who pick the ball out of the air. But let's not forget, to make that happen, there has to be an excellent pass rush, terrific coverage where they are plastered to the receivers, and then, of course, taking it away, making the catch, and going in the other direction.
2 yards on the pickup there. It'll be second and 8.
Well, he was looking for some running room, and there wasn't a whole lot of it there on that play. I think he was lucky to get a couple of yards out of it, because those defenders, they were rallying to the football pretty quickly.
54 Mike. Here we go, D. Get off the field.
On second down, it's Jones. And they finally get him, but not before he reaches the 33-yard line. A big run there by Jones. 57 yards on the ground.
First and 10 at the 33-yard line.
So how about this for a change in field position? From inside the 10, here's first down on the other side of the field. Shotgun now for Rodgers. Eluding the pressure right. And that's going to be incomplete. Too tough to hold on to that one. It's second down.
That would have been a great catch, but it's real difficult to hold on to it because it was contested all the way. Would have been a great play if he'd been able to haul that one in.
Second and 10 from the 33-yard line.
6 man.
Get 300. Get 300.
Spud. 54 is Mike. 54 is Mike. Check. Watch 54.
And they'll get this one down to about the 20-yard line. 13 yards, first down, Packers.
And while we're seeing more and more of these plays come from the college game into the NFL, and that one, it was run with great success, how about the evolution of the offensive linemen? We're seeing less and less big guys who can't move, and more guys who are a lot more mobile and can get out in front of that type of a play.
Just a yard on the first down carry, so it's second and 9. Here's second and 9, just a yard on that last run.
Pick it up. Mike 55. Mike 55. Small. What are you talking about?
Also over here.
Kill.
Now Rodgers. And that's going to be incomplete. A lot of contact, no call, and it's third down.
Once you get into the red zone and the safeties have less ground to cover, you'd better be quick with your delivery. Not much space to get a ball in there.
And when that field shrinks with those safeties, it's almost like there's a couple extra defenders out there, right?
It certainly is. They end up taking up extra space just because there's not enough space for receivers to run through.
Hey, take 26.
Mike 55.
Hey, Delta.
55. Let's go, tight end. Let's go right here now. 55 is Mike, guys. 55.
399.
Throwing is Rodgers on third down. And he's got the connection to the tight end Graham. Touchdown Packers. Jimmy Graham, his first touchdown here of the new campaign. And they are able to strike first here on their opening drive. Footing always a concern, but the extra point's up and good. And that makes the score 7-0. And after the touchdown, here's Bryant now to kick it away. And they will not get a chance to return this one as it's through the end zone for a touchback. Here are the Vikings now to start their next drive. And there are parts of their last drive they'd like to emulate. And, of course, they'd like to forget the ending, the interception. But they did put together, Charles, a nice sustained drive to get him down the field.
Yeah, and unfortunately for them, the only thing that matters is part 2, right? Because once they threw the interception and finished off the drive, that does them no good to go back and say, well, you know, we had a good one going. Finish things off. That's the only way you can get it done.
Second and 12 after the first down pass play went backwards for 2 yards. Throwing, Cousins. And this is Cook with the grab. They'll wind up getting 10 back as that sets him up for third down.
It's funny, throughout the time that we've been together, when we talk with running backs about the ability to catch the ball, their eyes light up when they talk about open field and having one-on-one matchups, don't they?
Yeah, they do. And that's the reason why. What we just saw, shedding those tackles, and that's what they're used to doing.
It is, and it starts at the beginning of the play. One-on-one matchup if someone's trying to cover them, but they also like those one-on-ones downfield after the catch when they're running with the ball. They think they're going to win those too.
Looking for his tight end Rudolph, and it's intercepted. It's Nick Perry with a pick, and they will score. It's a Packer touchdown. Now this defense looking like they have come to play the pick six, and just like that, it's 13-0 early on.
Well, go back with me to our training camp visits. What do we hear during these drills? Pass. Ball's in the air.
And then my favorite.
Oski, that's the interception. That means everybody finds someone to block them legally, stay on your feet, and they get it done. Touchdown.
So they throw the pick six. They'll get another shot at it now as this one's in the air. That's fielded in the end zone. And he's able to get it across the 20, but not by much, as he's marked down at the 21-yard line. Here are the Vikings now to start their next drive. Already down 2 touchdowns here in the first half. This becomes a pretty important drive, doesn't it?
It certainly does, and a lot of the teams script plays. We know that, right? They have a script to start the ball game, and typically those scripts go between 12 and 24, 25 plays.
And that's caught inside the 30. A big play there for Minnesota. 52 yards. Trying to get one more in here before the quarter breaks. 14-0 the score. This is the NFL on EA Sports. This offense finding its legs now. Here's another 1st and 10. Cousins gives way to Cook. Call it a gain of 4 on 1st, and that'll make it 2nd down.
I call that play a success. A nice inside run sets up a very manageable 2nd down. A very solid gain on that play.
Following the pickup of 4, here's 2nd and 6.
Strip the ball. Strip that ball. 53 to Mike. 53. Check 53. I got you.
Lucky 48.
You all right, baby.
Greystone, travel.
Watch twist. Watch twist.
Two.
Twist.
They just do get the play off. Now Cousins. Flushed out right. He's going to take off with it. Give him 7 on the tuck and run, and it'll get him a new set of downs. The last drive, remember, similar situation. He forced the ball into coverage through the pick. He learned better there.
Yeah, similar to a golfer that's confronted with a shot that you just can't make. Sometimes you have to take your medicine, as they say, right? Just pull it down, take off, and go. Don't make something worse than what it was.
From the red zone now, Cousins. Blitz coming, and down he goes. Preston Smith able to get in there for his 2nd sack of the afternoon.
Well, someone's been up to the task so far in this game. They are already up a couple of scores, Brandon, and guess what? I think they're just going to pin their ears back now and get upfield and get after the quarterback.
Been such an impressive first half to get that lead.
53 to Mike.
Throwing on 2nd and long. Cousins. And that is incomplete. A lot of force bearing down on him there. He could not hang on. It's 3rd down.
You get a tight end like this, and you know he's used to dishing out punishment, but here, he's one that has to absorb the contact, and as a result, unable to hold on to the football.
53 to Mike. Through. Check 53.
3rd and long for Cousins. That one into the hands of Thielen, complete. And they're going to drop him well shy of the 1st as he can only make it to the 11. They'll get 11, but it'll still lead to a 4th down.
One of the money routes for any offense, the drag route. So tough to defend because the receiver can stop at any point and make himself available to the quarterback and get a completion. But I love the communication we saw there. All the defenders pointing out the receiver where he was going, and then they're able to rally to the ball after the catch and stop him short of a first down.
And this will be a touchback as that sails over the end line. About set to get this drive started, the Green Bay offense at the line. And thus far, the weather has not slowed this offense down one bit. They've looked good so far in the first half.
They certainly have. And think back to our meeting with the head coach. And we asked him because we saw the forecast for this game, didn't we? We said, hey, have you prepared for this? And he talked about the different drills that they've done in adverse conditions, the wet ball drills, things of that nature. He said, I don't think it's going to slow us down much. We tend to handle it pretty well, and he's been right.
And they'll keep on the ground with Jones. Give him a couple on the carry there, 2nd and 8.
I know the scouting report on him is that he doesn't possess the eye discipline to be an elite linebacker. And what that means is his ability to read, react, and make a play. But on that one, he looked like one of those guys.
The last run good for 2. Here's 2nd and 8.
They're going to need some therapy after this. Hey, 88. 55, Mike 55. Hey, eat. Exit.
Off the play fake to Jones. Here's Rodgers. Gets it to Gordon. And a 5-yard gain gets him to the 42.
Let's go. That's how we do, D.
Brandon, perfect defense in this situation would have meant that there was an incompletion that would have picked it off. Okay, so they gave up the completion. But I really enjoyed watching how the defense stayed in sync, stayed in great communication, and as he dragged across each zone, you see him pointing, communicating. There he is, and they passed him off to each defender. Ended up making a nice play, even though it was complete.
Throwing now is Rodgers. And Graham's got it, complete. And this effort won't be enough as they rally up to stop him a couple of yards short. Good defense holds him to only a yard, and it'll be 4th down. And this will be a long field goal if the skies were clear. But here in the rain and the elements, they'll go for it on 4th.
Check.
The Packers going to use one of their timeouts. They'll have 2 remaining as we step aside here in this second quarter. Too long for a field goal, too short to punt. That in-between range, and they'll go for it on 4th down. Rodgers going to go on 4th down. He's got his man, Valdez-Scantling. And brought down, but not before they're inside the 25. 17 yards on the play there as the Packers have the first down as well.
1st and 10 at the 24-yard line.
18. 54. Mike 54.
Squish, double. 36.
Now a first down carry by Jones. He's able to work free for about 6 down to the 18.
Despite the blitz, they're still able to pick up a nice solid gain. The disadvantage of blitzing often alters the normal spacing and run fits and leaves creases like they were able to exploit right there.
On 2nd down, it's Jones. And he'll take it from the 18 to the 15, a gain of 3. A 3-yard pickup on 2nd and 4. Now they'll need to convert here on 3rd and a little more than a yard. We've got a 14-3 ball game with 2 minutes left in the opening half. A reminder reminder, coming up at halftime, we'll head to Orlando. Standing by there, Jonathan Coachman. He'll have stats and scores from around the NFL in his second week of the regular season. And he takes it down to the 13 and picks up the first. 3 yards there, good enough to keep the drive moving.
And that last carry puts him right at 100 yards for the game. So how has he done it? Because he's been patient, followed his blocks, let everything develop, and then burst through for big gains.
Let's go now. 10, 30. Let's see what you got.
And he will get this into the end zone. Touchdown, Green Bay. Jerick McKinnon, his first touchdown of the new season. And the Packers are able to stretch that lead out further. Bryant's extra point up and good. And the lead is up to 18 now. And after the touchdown, here's Bryant now to kick it away. This fielded at the 2. And he'll get it up to about the 26-yard line just across the 25.
The Vikings take over 1st and 10 at their own 26-yard line.
Here are the Vikings now to start their next drive. And this, let's face it, an important drive if they're going to get back into this ballgame.
Think about going in.
Nowhere to escape, and he goes down. Preston Smith able to record his 5th sack of the season.
Brandon, if I'm an offensive coordinator and I see an all-out rush like that, I file it away because I'm going to use their aggressiveness against them as this game goes on. I'm going to hit them with a screen soon.
Sacks, a growing theme in this first half. This is 2nd and long. To throw is Cousins. And Rudolph has it, the tight end. And he's able to get up here to the 26. Now the Packers going to go ahead and use the second of their timeouts as they'll stop it with just over 40 seconds to go in the first half. On 3rd down, Cousins. He gets this one into the hands of Dalvin Cook. And he's taken down but able to slip across the 35. The Vikings going to signal for the first of their timeouts as the clock will stop with 34 seconds to go before halftime. Line of scrimmage, the 37 on 1st and 10. Working out of the gun, Cousins. It's hauled in by Doxson. And he gets this to the other side of midfield across the 45 before going out. Another big gainer that time. This one goes for 19 yards. Cousins now 12 of 15 throwing the ball, 80% so far, and it's 1st and 10.
He's checking. Crash. Listen to me. 53's the mic. 53. Check 53.
To the air again. It's Cousins. And the coverage terrific there as that's knocked down and incomplete. They were trying to get it there to Josh Doxson. And now it's 2nd down. Well, the incompletion, yes, but maybe here not the worst thing in the world?
No, not on 1st and 10. It actually gives them a chance to regroup, relax just a little bit. They huddle up, talk it over. Then they get a chance to continue their drive.
That'll be complete to Cook. Past the 20. And he's taken down, but not before reaching the 10-yard line. Now the Vikings will use the second of their timeouts as they stop it with 16 seconds to go in half number 1. So now following the big play, they've got a 1st and goal all the way down at the 10.
53 is the mic. 53 is the mic. Tighten up. Pull it together. Let's go. Wide. Number 53, Mike 53. I'm coming.
Again, it's Cousins. He's got his man. This is Doxson. And now they're inside the 10 as he's brought down at the 9. Only a yard on the completion. It's 2nd and goal. And now a timeout defensively after that 1st down play. So they're going to make this offense sweat out half number 1. Bailey's kick is good. Well, not the best first half facing this deficit, but at least they did put 3 on the board before half.
Yeah, it's a little bit like that stormy, cloudy day, and the sun peeks through just for a second. They saw the sun there. They're hoping to see a little bit more of it in the second half.
So we reach halftime in what's been a fairly one-sided game so far. As we'll send you down to Orlando, we check in with Jonathan Coachman for our EA Sports Halftime Report. Coach. Forecast calling for more of the same. The rain set to continue as we are underway in the second half.
Get ready, get ready, get ready.
The Packer offense ready to get their next drive underway. They built a good first half lead. Now they have a chance to add on to it.
And what I'm thinking is that the offensive staff spent the entire halftime just working with them on, here's what we think they're going to do to attack us in the second half. Nice first half that we've had, guys, but be prepared for some change-ups. We're going to see them when we kick it off in the second half.
See how they handle any adjustments that might be made defensively. So the big play gets him across midfield now for 1st and 10. Now a play fake. Rodgers. Nowhere to escape, and he goes down. The defensive end, Danielle Hunter, drops him. Chalk that up as their first sack in this game, and they tallied 4 a week ago.
And probably not as much exultation in that sack as what took us so long. Because when you get 4 the previous week, you're counting on continuing that momentum. They didn't get that done in the first half of the game. Let's see.
He hauls it in. Valdez-Scantling for the Packers touchdown. Marquez Valdez-Scantling, his first touchdown here of the new campaign. And the Packers are able to stretch that lead out further. Bryant tacks on the extra point, and the lead opens up now to 22 points. And after the touchdown, here's Bryant now to kick it away. This fielded at the 2. And not a bad return here. He gets it out to the 25-yard line.
Go!
Here are the Vikings now to start their next drive. And their halftime hole now even deeper. And they need a big drive here just to answer the first touchdown of the second half scored against them.
They were down at the half. Now, as you mentioned, they're down a little bit bigger, but no time for discouragement. Just got to get back to it, right? Put your shoulder against the boulder and start pushing and try and get back to where you were to start the half.
Cousins now to throw on first down. Completes it right side to Dodson. Now that play is blown up, losing yardage back at the 35.
Well, I know it goes against the instincts of the person catching the ball because all you're ever taught is catch the football, don't drop it.
But drop it there.
Yeah, in that situation, dropping it would have been better. End up losing yardage, even though they completed the pass.
As good as a sack.
Yeah, how about that? Although they won't get the same credit for it, and it won't help them at contract time.
Throwing again on second down, but this time it's incomplete. This offense in desperate need of a conversion as they come up on third down. Cousins again. And he's going to be intercepted a third time. Picked off at the 36. And he may want to track down that football because that's interception number 1 on his career.
You're saying that's going into the trophy case?
I'd put it there.
Yeah, no doubt about it. That's when you ask the equipment guys to make sure they hold it for you after the game. But if you play in the back 7 on defense, that's part of your job, finding ways to take the ball away from the other team.
Call it no gain on the play, and it'll be second down.
I know that speed is the hallmark of today's NFL game, But the key to good rushing defense is still having your linebackers set the edge.
54 Mike. Coming, baby. I'm coming, baby.
They'll go again to Jones. And maybe a measure of revenge there. He's had his way in this one, but this time they get him behind the line. It'll be a loss of a yard, and that's going to lead to a 3rd and 11.
It's going to be a long day. It's going to be a long day.
From the gun, it's Rodgers. And that will be incomplete. You can tell they were hoping for a flag there offensively. Several on the sideline motioning. Hey, why not a penalty? Why not a penalty? What did you see?
Yeah, I think you've got to let them play, and the officials are instructed. If there's contact coming from both sides, no flag. Let them fight it out.
And forces 4th down. 12 yards on the return that time. And the Vikings will take over here 1st and 10. Here are the Vikings now to start their next drive. And following the interception, just any interception, are you a little bit more cautious when you start that next drive, or no, you just throw that out the window?
I think you are. I don't think that there's any way you can run back out there and go, totally didn't affect me. Let's just go ahead and be loose with the football again. You're going to take care of it, but you have to be careful about being too cautious because now you can't run any offense at all.
Still want to attack. We'll see how they attack them here. Now, meanwhile, a pass that should have been intercepted, but it winds up falling incomplete. 2nd and 10 now from the 27. Cousins. And he can't find a receiver, and he's brought down. Preston Smith in there to get him, and that is sack number 6 now for him on the year. So now after the sack, Cousins and the Vikings come up here 3rd and long. Cousins from the gun on 3rd. And the pressure gets to him again. Zadarius Smith, he's the one to get him this time, and back-to-back sacks brings up 4th down. Here's Britton Colquitt now as the drive goes backwards, so he's on to punt it away.
The Packers take over 1st and 10 at their own 15-yard line.
About set to get this drive started. The Green Bay offense at the line. They're out in front. Last time they had to punt it away. We'll see if they can add to their lead now.
They don't want to go out and punt it away again. This team now wants to get a cushion, put people away. They want to run their offense and have it end up in the end zone.
It's Xavier Rhodes there in on the stop.
A gain of a yard brings up 2nd and
The run only got a yard. Here's 2nd and 9.
We're pretty quiet, D. We're pretty inside.
Take 4.
Now this time Rodgers will throw. Able to get this to Gordon. 6 yards is the pickup, and that'll lead to a 3rd down.
One thing you're hoping for when you run drag routes, you're able to hit a receiver in stride, and he can pick up a lot of yardage after the catch. But in this situation, the defense was effective, able to stop him before he could get a good head of steam going.
I'm coming after you. I'm coming after you.
Easy. Wide left.
Rodgers going to try and throw on 3rd down. And he finds his tight end, Graham. And he's got it past the 30 before he's hit and dropped. Give him 10 there. Good enough for a Packer 1st down. Rodgers now 5 straight completions here in this 2nd half. 1st and 10. On the ground, this is the former Viking, Jerick McKinnon. And he is met in his tracks behind the line of scrimmage. That's going to go as a loss of 2, and it'll be 2nd down.
2nd and 12 at the 30-yard line.
Blue 58. 55.
Here we go.
Here again is McCannon. And that didn't fool anybody. He's going to be dropped in the backfield. It'll go as a loss of a yard, and it'll set up third down.
And Anthony Barr just has it all as far as I'm concerned in terms of physique, athletic ability, and now he's versatile as well. When he came out of UCLA, he played outside linebacker, but also down defensive end. The Vikings can utilize those same sort of skills.
Check 55 to Mike. Check 55 to Mike. 26. Set the time.
On third and long, it's Rodgers. And he is going to be taken down. And that should be the final play of this third quarter. Here's J.K. Scott now. 3 quarters have come and gone. We'll return with more after this break. You're watching the NFL on EA Sports. Here's J.K. Scott now as he'll kick it away for the second time. And this is away. It's a high kick, and he got all of it.
It's been a struggle all game for them on offense. This was a chance to maybe provide a little bit of a spark with a punt return. Unfortunately, that spark got doused.
Yeah, and you call special teams the third phase, but you see here it can be the first phase sometimes.
That is so true, right? It can ignite it one way or the other, and boy, that didn't help them at all.
First down, here's the run with Cook. And he'll lose yardage on the play back at the 45-yard line. That's going to go as a loss of 1 on first down.
I think it's pretty evident. We can say what a difference a week makes. Last week, he ran pretty much wild, didn't he? Did pretty much what he wanted to do. But this one, they stopped him cold. That, to me, that's good scouting and even better execution.
Yeah, and they stopped him behind the line right there. They obviously watched the tape a few times and made some adjustments. On second and 11 now. Cousins flush to his right. On the run, he'll let it go deep, right sideline. And that'll be incomplete. Good protection that time, and they couldn't hook up on the long one. Now it's third down. The Vikings on third down. They've converted just 2 for 6 thus far. This is third and 11. From the gun, here's Cousins. And he's going to be hit and taken down. Back right around the 48-yard line. Jabal Sheard wreaking the defensive havoc. They're already slim hopes are going to ride on this one. They'll go on fourth down. Now Cousins on fourth down. It's brought in by Doxson. No reason not to try it there, and they do indeed convert on fourth. Cousins now perfect since the second half started. 7 of 7. It's first and 10.
Hey, we're good.
From the shotgun, it's Cousins. And his pass is intercepted for the 4th time today. Picked up by Darnell Savage, the rookie from Maryland. And it's a good return here as he'll get all the way up close to the 35.
Well, this defensive pressure has been constant all game long. The pass rush, the coverage, they've all been excellent, and now they'll tack on an interception here as this one continues to slip just further and further out of hand.
The Packer offense ready to get their next drive underway. Now, that turnover might just about do it here. Fourth quarter, the lead that you've got, they can just run the football, run the clock.
You're exactly right. They played smart, couple of first downs, and this one should just about be.
Touchdown, Packers! Aaron Jones with his second touchdown of the game, 4th of the year. And the Packers are able to stretch that lead out further. And on that long run, maybe the defense caught napping a little bit.
The concentration level may not have been there. I agree with you on that one because those types of plays, when they result like that, they're almost like big bolts of lightning, aren't they? Whoosh, and off he goes.
And after the touchdown, here's Bryant now to kick it away. And this will not be returnable. It's out of the back of the end zone for a touchback. Here are the Vikings now to start their next drive. They go back to the air here after the INT on the last drive. And this is Cook with a grab. And he's upended at the 33 following a good pickup of 8. Here's a 2nd and 2 now from the 33. Now Cousins. And his throw is incomplete. Another incompletion. You know, it's a wonder he's still moving around back there the number of times he's been sacked.
Yeah, he's staying out there, isn't he? And you don't think about it much in a game like this, but he's showing incredible leadership. Still competing, still fighting, not taking himself out of a ball game that appears lost.
And he will have the first down, but he winds up paying for it pretty good. 7 catches for him now, and this last one, a first down. They'll run on first down. It's Cook. And he'll be brought down just shy of the 45. They give him 4 yards there. It'll be 2nd and 6. From the 44, Cousins. It's complete to Diggs. And this is going to result in another first down as the tackle's made at the Packers' 44-yard line. So into Packer territory now. Here's 1st and 10 at the 44-yard line. Cousins. And that is caught on the right sideline, but out of bounds, says the line judge. The throw took him a little too far. It's 2nd down. Just nothing there again. He's been sacked multiple times. We've seen the interceptions, of course. He's really been through the ringer, hasn't he? And
what we've seen is a defense that's well coordinated. The front and the back really in sync.
Now the hit comes, and Cousins lost the football. And the Packers pick it up. And what a return as he brings this all the way back down to the 20-yard line.
And with that kind of a deficit, you can't afford to make any kind of mistakes. But it's been pretty symptomatic of what we've seen all game with them, isn't it? Down this big in the fourth quarter.
Yeah, you'd say an afternoon to forget, absolutely.
Blue 58. Check. Watch 54. Watch 54. Let's get the ball.
On first down now, a run with McKinnon. And he will lose yardage here back at the 23-yard line. That's going to wind up a loss of a full 3 yards on first down. And when do they start thinking about burning these timeouts? They've got all 3 still defensively.
To me, you have to start right now. Here's the time, and that means you've got to stop them on defense, not give up the yardage, use your timeouts in order to get the ball back and try and score yourself. But now is the time to start using those timeouts.
And keep in mind, it'll also stop the clock at the 2-minute warning. Maybe a gain of a yard that time, but yeah, from the spot, actually no gain. So 3rd and long. The chance of wasting this great starting field position, a real threat. This is 3rd and long. They fake the give. Now Rodgers. Into double coverage, and it's intercepted. Xavier Rhodes with a pick. And a big turnover there as his guys will get the football back. Now they get a 4th quarter pick. A little something to hang their hat on, I guess.
Okay, so let's face it, though. Who's happy about this play? Fantasy guys, right?
Yeah.
The analytics will tell you one thing or another. Has a bad play on one hand, a good play on the other, but it's all about the fantasy points here.
Yeah, because this ball game is over. So the Vikings in possession of the football as we get you reset. And let's see what they've come up with offensively after having time to talk it over. Now a deep ball there on 2nd down, but it'll wind up incomplete. He was looking for his tight end there, Kyle Rudolph. But now it'll be 3rd down. Another wayward pass. You know, things started out poorly in this game, and to be frank, they just really haven't gotten much better.
And all that does is embolden the secondary. They feel good about what's going on, and they just play better and better.
And now the 3rd down throw incomplete as well. Well, it just seems like all game long there hasn't been a lot of sync quarterback to wide receiver on this side of the football.
They haven't been on the same page, quarterback and receivers. Heck, they haven't been on the same grease board when you draw plays up. They haven't been on the same surface tablet that you look at on the sidelines. Nothing's worked for them. They've got to find a way to start matching each other's movements.
They've got good starting field position as they come up here 1st and 10 at the 41-yard line. A little bit of daylight on that first down run sets him up nicely. 8 yards on the carry. A good run there on first down, and it'll leave them with a 2nd and 2.
It's a gain of 8. Brings up 2nd and 2 at the 50.
8 yards the gain on that last run. Here's 2nd and a couple. Again, it's Jones. And he'll be brought down at the 48-yard line. They'll get 3 as the drive continues. It's a first down.
I've got an idea. Let's skip racing to the airport at the end of this game. Let's go to the post-game press conference. I have a feeling that the quarterback of this winning team is going to be given a whole lot of credit to the running game and the offensive line.
Yeah, I was just going to say the offensive line, yes, carrying the ball has been key, but those guys up front, they've made a lot of space.
Let's put them on the buses. Let's put that team on the bus.
And they'll take a knee as the clock ticks down toward 50 seconds to go.
It's a loss of a yard. Brings up 2nd and 11 at the Vikings' 49-yard line.
Mike. 319.
Fuck, Mike. Let him know, let him know. Let him know, let him know.
And they'll indeed take a knee. So it's all over. A Green Bay victory. And it was their defense that really made the statement after the break. They pitched the second half shutout.
Yeah, think about the team that just got vanquished. They did score in the second quarter. Do you think they thought at all that that would be their last points of the game?
No, but what a second half. The adjustment, whatever they did in the locker room, it certainly worked.
It certainly did, and you're exactly right. Whether it was an adjustment, whether it was just more focus on what they planned to do going in, whether they just played better, whatever it was, it all came together in the second half, and no points were allowed. That's a great way to close them out.
So for the Packers, it's a win here in their home opener as they move to 2-0. And they'll get to stay home again next week. Meanwhile, for Minnesota, they'll fall to 1-1. And they'll get a chance to redeem themselves at home next week. So for Charles Davis and our entire crew, I'm Brandon Gaudin. Next game, guess what? Charles and I will be here again. It's the NFL on EA Sports.